All right. Yeah, so you're gonna be focusing on, how to mark up your charts, you know, and then also emphasizing on the entry level that we're using in terms of taking our entries and everything. So, and I want you to be able to know, how to be able to mark and these levels and all these kind of things, right? So, let's start with an example. Let's say you're in an uptrend, right? You have an uptrend happening, right? So how do you know when to enter based off this uptrend, right? So you having those higher highs, higher lows. This is a higher high here. This is a higher high, and also this is a higher low, right? So you keep on having.
Hello. Sorry, can you look at gold at the moment? I'm in US and gold is saying we should buy. Can I buy it at this now?
For me,
I'm
let
on
me.
5 minutes.
All right. Okay, let me.
I'm so sorry.
Uh, all right. So this is what I saw earlier. Okay.
Yeah, because you showed it and I put a time and it triggered. So I'm not sure if it's time to buy.
Okay. So, but this is on a 15, then I think on a 5 minute, this is what was gonna happen. Now I think the best way to go about it now, currently, let me just delete this. The best way to go about it currently is to have this kind of thing happening also, same here, right? So you wanna have
Mm,
this high being created, it making a high, and then coming
yeah.
back to retest, wherever this high was. Like for instance, let's take because here the first entry here to the upside, it actually happened on a 5 minute. Also, it broke above, came back to retest, and then shoot up. So this here was an entry. So more of the same thing can happen, but it can also still go below this into these areas here, right? But even if it does that, it's still fine. You don't have to buy anything yet. But the best way for you to be able to buy gold at this level, it will be for you to wait for it to actually it will for you to wait for it to actually come and to this high again, so you can be able to buy
Okay.
it from that high. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
because there's the thing, a lot of I spoke about fake breakthroughs or whatever, that can happen where it can come, retest, show a sign of buying, and then you buy immediately, and it then should continue to shoot down. You understand?
Mm,
So you don't want to
mm,
be part of that, manipulation which the market made, so you can trap some of the people in terms of showing whatever that might happen. But you need to let
mm,
this another candlestick close. You understand? Because it created a high. There's a low, there's a high. But
mm,
it needs to come back down so it can shoot up because it's coming from the upside. If it was coming from the downside, it needs for it to go up, create the high, create
mm,
the low,
mm.
and then once it gets to that higher high, you buy it immediately. You understand? So you wanna
Okay.
wait for this to close, and then the following candlestick, it should be able to push to the upside, and then you can aim for this level because I see price has been bouncing off. That's why I marked it. I saw
Mhm.
price bouncing off. That's why I marked it. And then also, it broke below this. As you can see, it broke below this, retested, and then shot down. So most of the same things, they keep happening and happening most of the time. So there's no need for you to buy now. There's no
Okay.
need for you to buy. And also, if it continues to shoot down, if it continues to shoot
Mm,
down, then this is no longer valid because now it needs to come back again, it break above, then retest, then shoot up. You understand?
mm,
Yeah.
okay.
So if it does, as you can see, it continue to shoot down. So this that,
Mm,
that is no longer valid for us. Um,
mm. Thank you.
Somebody says they are not able to see the chart. Okay, try leaving the meeting and then joining the meeting again. Maybe you will see something there. All right. So taking it back to what I was showing, let me see.
Victoria.
Yeah. So in terms of it goes back to this thing, in terms of how everything goes. It goes back to all of these, the highs and the lows, the highs and the lows. Because now, for me, this is fine, but I prefer something like this. I actually prefer something like this, you know. You have a high which was created, the higher high which was created. This was an indication to the upside, price corrected to the downside, short up. You might have bought here or some levels on a smaller time frames between here, as long as it's in correlation with the overall trend, which is the uptrend, right? But for me, the
Mm.
best way to get the best entry, especially that the market also gave us an indication to the upside, creating that another higher high. That's higher high, came back retest, also broke above, gave us another higher high on a higher time frame, which usually this happens on a bigger time frame, 1 hour or 4 hour, right? So price coming back to correct, I would love it to correct back into this highs, not above this highs. You understand? I feel
Mm.
more comfortable taking my entries when it's correcting back into this house. So same thing with what gold might be doing now. So as you can see, gold is correcting back into this high here. Let me
Mm. Mm.
let me do this 1 hour. Let me just, yeah. So as you can see, this was a higher high. Price came back to correct, went up, shoot up, and yeah, we got an entry, yes, between some of these levels which were there when we took our entry to the upside. I remember when we took our entries. I think we got our entries actually
It was
some,
3 o'clock. I couldn't get it. I was fast asleep.
yeah, yesterday when I think
Yeah.
yeah, but yesterday we
I
got
did
an
the first one and then I lost. And then the second one you called, I was fast asleep.
yeah, so we got a entry somewhere here, and then we shot up aiming at the side, right? Why? Because
Mm.
also prior to that we had a market creating this higher high, coming back to retest, broke above, also creating this whatever that was happening here. But I did address this, that I'm not gonna be taking this a little bit much seriously. I need some kind of data. So market continued to rally up, created a higher high, came back down, back to this size, because the indicator that we're using, it marked this thing as a higher high. So we came back, corrected back into this level where there was a little bit of consolidation which was happening here on Monday. So that's why we took our buys above it, because anything above that consolidation would have been buys, right? So we took our entries from here into until above, which was at this higher high. We could have held a little bit longer, but for me, I felt comfortable taking my profit here because my TP was already hit. That's when I said in the morning that our take profit was hit, right? So going back to what I was saying, now we have a higher high, another higher high. We have a higher high here, right? Price corrected back, price was correcting back. It shot up, creating another higher high, which was there. So I would love for you to come, correct back to into any of these levels that we might have. We will go down to
Mm.
small time frames to mark those levels where we can take potential buy entries. But we know already that any based on the indication that were happening, and some of these levels that we have on 15 minutes, showing that price has been consolidated or price has been reacting of those levels. We wanna be able to what is this, we want to be able to take entries based off that. You understand? I feel much comfortable taking an entry somewhere in between to the upside than if it was just bouncing on top and just going up, because chances are it can still bounce on top and still shoot back down during your session, right? So I feel
Mm.
much comfortable taking entries with correction coming back into the previous higher highs, even if it was a downtrend. Let's also make an example for downtrend here, right? So more or less the same. Also, these are more equal. It happened, okay, and then we have this, right? Correcting back into the lows, back into the higher, the previous lower low which happened. So it's more just an upside of this. So this is how it will look. We have this high, this lower low. We have also this lower low, and then we have these as part of the correction before the indication to the downside, price correcting back just above these lows, and then shooting down to create another indication which gave another lower low, right? But this for me would have been much ideal because now I can know when the correction has ended. You understand? I can know when the correction has ended, but this is not really reassuring. So same thing here. Um, this gemintate analysis that I sent, right? I could have easily said, okay,
Mm.
fine. This is a higher high that we have here, right? Price easily corrected. Yes, it correct, did much correct. That's where we took our entries from. Is it no? It does not today. So our entries came from yesterday. Somewhere there. Yeah, we took our entries from these levels, right? It went up to create another higher high, corrected back, and then short continued to shoot up. Now this is a new higher high, right? Now it's correcting above this. I don't feel comfortable taking an entry above this because, like I explained, it can still come back down. It can still come back down because now we have a high, we have a low. This can easily become a higher low and then go create another lower low before it again. You get what I'm saying? It is
Mm.
much easier to have the correction, just like I showed you. It's much easier to have the correction back into the previous, a swing point, which is this swing high, which was a higher high. It is much easier for you to have a trade there because now for us to be able to take trades, you can look back and say, okay, I see there's a level that price has been bouncing off. I see this level here on a small time frame that price has been bouncing off these levels. So if price starts to reject this level and start pushing to the upside, I might be looking to take entries from the upside because now already price has showed me that it can buy above those levels. So I'm willing to buy a price above those levels. You get what I'm saying? That's why I don't rush into these entries. It's not a must for you to be able to trade everything. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Thank
the,
you.
yeah, everything would come from you waiting things out, the patience in you. That will be, what will help you in your trading. It will really help you very much because you need to wait these things out. You need to wait them out, right? So I'm just gonna clear my charts also just to help people in terms of let's just start with this gold. Yeah. So for those that don't have a laptop or do have a laptop and are using trading view for their analysis, look for this indicator which is written higher high, lower low, and then so you can plot it there, right? So you can basically start from a 4 hour, so it can easily show you some of the things that are currently happening, right? So just like I said earlier, we have a higher high, higher low, higher high. This bounced off this on top of this and started to shoot up, and then create another higher high. So now we have that higher high. Now this is correcting back into this. So if, sorry, okay. Then if this is, we want to see it correcting back into this, so we can be able to take, trades to the upside and even, go even way higher than the current price, right?
You show me that indicator again? I missed it.
Yeah, please, if you're talking at the back, try to mute. Okay. The indicator is higher high, lower low strategy on trading view. Higher high, lower low strategy. Let me just show you. I think, yeah. This by Lonesome. Lonesome, there's something. About 2.6 people use it. So if you can have yourself there, it can already help you just to understand the trend just by plotting it on a 4 hour, right? Then you can easily mark off those zones and say, okay, you don't need to go way, way back down. You just need, the recent ones. You have a higher high, you have a higher low here. These are your things there. And then already also you have a higher high there, right? So you already have these on a 4 hour. Now it's fine. You want to move to 1 hour, this still applies on the 1 hour, right? And also, just to understand where you are currently, right? This will show you, okay, we had a higher high here, and then just that's why I mark this level, say, okay, this level, anything above this level would be bullish, anything above this level would buy. That's where we got our entry from yesterday until here, right? So we knew that anything above this level would buy based on this was a higher high price, continued to break above, came back to retest within these. Now this is still is in correlation with what the 4 hour is telling you, right? So we looking to have CNS push to the upside on a level where price has shown that it can buy before, right? So we're taking those buys from this level up into this level, right? So now, as you can see, this level is the same. So price has shown that okay, this level, and then also price has shown you that okay, price can buy above this, right? So but you also have this level where price has been bouncing off. Now you can mark that off and then start switch this thing off. Now everything can be much visible to you. As you can see, now you see that okay, chances are price can be able to come back down from where it was, bounce off this level, start to push back up, build nicely to the upside, and once it breaks above this level, retest, and it shoots, it will shoot up. You understand? As long as it doesn't retest and it doesn't break up above and shoot back down, come back down. Once it retests, remember, then that entry method that we use comes into play. That previous high, that higher high that was created there becomes your entry point. Now you can aim, you can take your entry like this, because now price gave you an indication before that price can be able to, it broke above. Now it needs to correct on a smaller time frame, which would usually be on a 15-minute or a 5-minute time frame, right? So price would show you on those smaller time frame that okay, on 15 minutes, we want to see a nice clean break above that level that you see price has been bouncing off. The one that I just mentioned, price bounced off this level, sold. It broke above, it continued to bounce before this level, and then it bought above this level, right? So it more the same, more the less thing. So you want to see it probably come back down, retest this level, start to build higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, break above this, retest that break up, that first break above higher high. You can take an entry from it and probably aim for this level, or maybe aim for 3,900, right? So that's pretty much how you want to be trading ICC. ICC actually, it happens all the way, even on smaller time frame. It happens all the way. And the most important part is this here, as you can see, we have a high, low, lower high, lower lows, and lower highs. You understand? That's a trend that is currently happening. Even on a 5 minute, you will see the trend that is happening. That's a downtrend on a 5 minutes. You wanna see once a trend is being broken. That's why I was saying this would sell probably to this level and start to build higher highs and higher lows. Now there's a change in a trend. Already we know overall we are bullish on a 4 hour, we are bullish on a 1 hour. Now you need those smaller time frames of 15 minutes or 5 minutes to be in the same direction as the bigger time frames. So you can start taking those trades to that direction that everything is pointing to. If it's a downtrend, you take once everything is in correlation and the levels that you are in, they're showing you in small time frames are building towards that kind of trend. It's easier for you to be able to make money out of those levels. Same thing that we had yesterday happening. Any questions? Hello?
Not so
Yeah.
much a question. Well, not so much a question, but a commendation.
Okay.
Just to say that I think you're doing a great job, and we look forward to following the tutelage so that we can learn more and more from this. In fact, yesterday was when I first learned about this higher high, lower low strategy in 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 trading view. So and I found it to be very, very helpful also as I saw it and to understand what's happening. So just want to say thanks a lot for a great job, and we appreciate that which you're doing.
All right. No, thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad, and I'm grateful. I just want to see everybody. There's no better feeling than waking up on your own and being able to spot everything on the charts. I think that's the best level that everybody's trying to get at, and with everything that's happening all over the world, at least we can be able to, help each other out even in small ways, be able to help each other out, try to make ends meet, whatever the case may be. So I'm glad that I'm able to make a difference in everybody's lives.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Someone wanted to speak earlier? Did you have a question?
Yes, when will the course start? The October course.
Oh, yes. I'm thinking sometime next week because I'm still wrapped up with some meetings on things that I'm busy with. Remember, I did mention that I'm into the mining space, so I have my own company, and I also have a consortium that I'm part of. So yeah, they've been also trying to call me just about 5 minutes ago now, just to put me into a conference call. So I was trying to make time for this also, just to but I will attend to them. So it's been quite a hectic, and also the gentleman earlier did speak yesterday in terms of time scale, in terms of organizing a time for these classes, so we can know that exactly at this time we have these Zoom classes. So yesterday started at 3, and also today we did it at 3. I was a bit 10 minutes late, but yeah, so I will try to kind of stick to the 3 p.m. on my side time slot, which is like 30 minutes before New York session. So I'll try to stick to that and then see what actually happens.
All right. Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, before we go, let me just see something. I see something here. Right. Okay. So let me just clear everything. So I wanna go start with 4 hours on US date. They wanna see something. Okay, it's not much to see, but we're on a downtrend. As you can see from the bullish momentum that we're having, we're on a downtrend. We broke above this, and 1 hour thing can show it much better. So yeah, we're on a downtrend. We broke above this previous lower high that was here, creating a higher high, and then creating a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a lower high, equal lows, a higher high, a lower low, a higher high, a lower low, right? So now this should be important to see, but as you can see, you see a lower high, but this was it was a higher high on top of this one, and also a lower low, a higher high, a lower low. So now we are no longer bullish on a 1 hour. We are bearish on a 1 hour. So you want to be able to say, okay, I see this level price has been bouncing off this level, right? And price has shown me that it has the ability to sell below this level until these levels that are here. Until these levels that are here, right? So while you marking that out on your 1 hour, you then switch off this indicator, and then you go to 15 minutes, right? As you can see, there's that higher high also, but this is where the lower low, lower high, the higher high, and then the lower low also. So now price is bearish because we have a lower low also, which is 2 lower lows happening here. So price has shown, like I said before, price has shown you can sell below these levels. This level that we have here, where the consolidation was happening on a 1 hour, right? And as you can see, the sellers are starting to push price down. They're starting to push price down. Even if it continues, there's still also this level here. There's also this level here, right? Where the higher high was at. And also price has shown you that it can sell below that area, right? So you want to see most of those things happening. The sellers pushing market down, the sellers are pushing the market down also. So this shows you in this level here, this level of support or resistance, depending where the price is. When the price is below, it's resistance. Where the price is up, is support. But this level here, it shows you that we do have sellers which are sitting here. We have sellers which are sitting here, right? And here we have buyers which are sitting here. But based on the trend that you are in, which is, by the way, the 1 hour, which is the one that is currently moving everything, and I did show that we have a higher high, a higher low, a lower high, a lower low, so a higher high and another lower low. So these two lower lows also show that below this price can sell, right? And also, like I said here, below this price can sell. right? So you want to see, if you are looking to buy, you need to wait for market to create an indication, break above these higher highs, and then create the higher low. Wait for something for like this, create the higher high, higher low, and then start buying off the levels where it showed you it can buy before, right? So now it doesn't show that it can buy. It is actually showing us that it can sell, and we are in a downtrend, right? So anyone can say, okay, this, because now we had a lower low here, and then this high which was here, and then another had a lower low here. This was an indication, right? Because we broke this low. For you to be in a downtrend, you need to break lows. You need to break lows. You break in lows on a downtrend, right? For you to be in an uptrend, you need to be breaking the highs, right? You break in the highs, right? So that's more of the same concept. So we broke a low, creating a lower low, right? So like I said, I see sellers are trying to push price down. We have strong level of sellers that are sitting here, or you can say a level of resistance, which acts like a ceiling, which is sitting there. Let me just switch this off just to, yeah. So we are on a 15-minute chart now, right? We also can look for level where price has been bouncing off on a smaller time frame, right? So we see price has been bouncing off this level that is here. Price bounced off that level that is here, right? So you want to see probably a nice clean break below with breaking these lows here, lower high, before you can take an entry probably back to this or back to that is currently here. This is what you want to see, and your entry would come off of this. Just like I said, the entry method that we have, where the lower high would be, just above the lower high, and then you can take an entry back to here. Because price breaking this level here, it showed us that the buyers which are here are starting to become weak. It tested the level first time, it created the level the first time, and then it tested the level second time, tested the level, broke below this level. The buyer started to get off little by little, and then came back and broke below just to give us that indication which was happening. And now this here can be a correction. This here can be a correction here. This here can be a correction. And as you can see on a 15 minutes, we have an uptrend happening here. High, low, high, low, higher, high, low, higher, high, low, higher, high, low, higher, high. You need to look for a break below to break this trend that is happening on a 15 minute. Like I said, price will need to come break this low, create a lower high. The minute now we have a lower low and create a lower high, that means we are selling. So you will need for you will wait for price to create a lower low below these lows, and then create a lower high, and then enter based on the lower low which was created, and then shoot to the downside where this trend started. So that's basically what I'm seeing, because I see sellers are pushing it. We have a strong, also this candle here, we have a strong level of sellers which are sitting also at the top here. Because even if it tried to go up, it didn't really go up to retest this level. So sellers are also here. Price has been bouncing off this level. So that's how you also be able to mark off those things that you are doing. So, but I need you guys to practice, most of the time, start small, start with bigger time frames, 4 hour. And then once you can be able to mark off those levels, 1 hour also understand in terms of those levels, or you can start with 1 hour, just to see the trend that you are in. But the moment you are in an uptrend, you want to see higher highs and higher lows. The moment you see a lower low, that means the trend is about to change, or the trend is changing, right? And then if you're in a downtrend, you want to see lower lows and lower highs. But the minute you see a higher high on a higher time frame, which is 1 hour or 4 hour time frame, then that means the trend is also changing. So you wanna be focusing on change your focus to, we are no longer down, we are no longer bearish, we are bullish, or we are no longer bullish, we are bearish, depending on where the switch comes from. So, and take that That where if you are in an uptrend where you had higher highs and higher lows, and now you have a lower low which was created now, breaking the higher lows, take that as an indication. Wait for price to correct back up so you can now be able to come and sell down, to continue selling down. Same thing if you are bearish, you having those lower lows, lower highs on the 1 hour, 4 hour. Wait for, and price gives you a higher high. Wait by breaking a lower high and giving you a higher high on a 1 hour. Wait for price to correct back, because that higher high is an indication that price wants to go up. So it indicates that price wants to go up. So you want to be able to take, wait for the correction back into whatever, so that higher high can create a higher low, and then start looking for buying opportunities on a smaller time frame, 15-minute, 5-minute, where price has been bouncing off of. Just like I've been showing you now, you see those, where price has been bouncing off most of the time. Those levels, those are important levels that you will be looking to take opportunities based off, and also try to correlate. Like I said, try to correlate what is happening on a smaller time frame with what is happening on a bigger time frame. So start your top down analysis from 4 hour, 1 hour, 15-minute, and then 5 minutes for entries. That's it. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Okay.
Thank you.